On the evening of October 10th, 2023, police arrived at a quiet home on Sunset Drive, only to be met with a haunting sight. A woman lying lifeless in her bedroom, her body bearing multiple gunshot wounds. Paramedics quickly took her to the hospital, but sadly, she didn't make it. What at first seemed like a case of self-defense to the investigators soon revealed layers of complexity and hidden truths that deeply shocked the community and sparked a strong call for justice for the woman they loved and cared for. This is the heart-wrenching case of Amanda Williams. Amanda Williams was born on April 18, 1977, in Cleveland, Ohio, into a loving and supportive family that placed a strong emphasis on faith, learning, and business. As she grew up, she stood out as a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta, a respected sorority known for its focus on community service and helping women become leaders. However, Amanda's true passion was in the hair and beauty industry. For over 25 years, she worked as a hairstylist, earning a strong reputation that reached well beyond Cleveland. Her warm smile and sincere care for her clients made her much more than a stylist. She became a trusted friend, a listener, and a source of strength and inspiration for many women in her neighborhood. In 2021, Amanda accomplished something many thought couldn't be done in the tough world of small business. She opened her salon, A La Mode Styles, in University Heights, a stylish neighborhood close to downtown Cleveland. The odds were stacked against her, as a large percentage of new salons closed within 18 months. But Amanda wasn't just getting by, she was flourishing. She grew her list of loyal clients, introduced her own hair care product line, and marked the salon's second anniversary, a clear sign of her strong business skills and hard work. As a mother of two and a proud grandmother, Amanda's achievements in business were equaled by her deep love for her family. Her social media told the story of someone committed to helping others rise, often posting messages about growing as a person and building a better career. She encouraged her followers to stay focused on bettering themselves, even when life got tough, words that would carry a chilling meaning as events unfolded later on. The events leading to the tragic incident started with something that seemed like a small matter. On October 10th, 2023, after getting back from a cosmetology convention in Columbus, Amanda didn't reply right away to a text from her fiancé, Tyrell Edwards. That short delay sparked an argument that lasted the whole day and grew into something much more serious than how it began. That morning, the temperature was around 43 degrees Fahrenheit, a fitting backdrop to the rising coldness between Amanda and Edwards. As things got more tense, Amanda made the bold move to cut off Edwards' phone service, which led him to get a new number. Their argument carried on in the basement of their home in Sunset Drive, Warrensville Heights, as they purposely stayed out of sight from Amanda's daughter and granddaughter, who were upstairs. All day long, Amanda kept telling Edwards to leave the house. He started gathering his things, but the conflict was far from over. Their problems had been growing for a long time, not just for weeks, but possibly years. Although Edwards didn't have a felony record, people close to them would later share some concerning details. He had been arrested in 2019 for assaulting Amanda, and in 2020, another woman took out a restraining order against him, claiming he had threatened her and followed her around. As night approached, the argument came to a heartbreaking end in the couple's bedroom. What followed would be closely examined and argued over, but one thing was certain. Tyrell Edwards used Amanda's own revolver to fire 6 shots, taking her life in the one place she should have felt protected. When police from Warrensville Heights got to the house on Sunset Drive on that evening, they were met with a scene that would stay with them forever. Amanda was found in her bedroom, lifeless, her body bearing multiple gunshot wounds. Paramedics rushed her to South Point Hospital, but sadly, she didn't make it, despite their best efforts. Right after the incident, Edwards gave what sounded like a clear case of self-defense. In his first statement, he described himself as someone who had no choice but to act in order to stay alive. Edwards said Amanda had threatened him with a knife and was holding him against his will in their bedroom. He claimed that when she came at him with the knife, he was forced to shoot her 6 times to protect himself. The case took a turn when investigators found that Edwards had recorded parts of the argument on his phone. These recordings became key to understanding what really happened the night Amanda died. In the video, both Amanda and Edwards are seen in their bedroom, with Amanda holding a knife and telling Edwards to leave. But one important moment in the video didn't match Edwards' story. It showed Amanda putting the knife down before walking toward him. Medical findings also raised serious doubts about his claims.
I'm going to defend myself.
Defend yourself from what?
I'm going to defend myself.
You acting violent? There you go. No, you chill out. No, chill out. Chill out. Chill out.
You know what?
Chill out. Why'd you try to help me with?
You know what? You know what?
Dr. Elizabeth Mooney, the deputy medical examiner, later testified that out of the 6 bullets fired, 1 caused a spinal injury that would have left Amanda completely paralyzed from the neck down, meaning she couldn't have been holding a knife after that shot. Even with the clear gaps in Edwards' story, the case moved slowly at first, and police initially let him go, citing a lack of sufficient evidence to press charges. This decision caused anger and frustration in the community, especially among Amanda's loved ones, who were well aware of the rocky and abusive past between the two. The case picked up speed after Amanda's family started a social media campaign calling for justice. They posted about past abuse, including a troubling text Amanda sent Edwards in November 2020, where she said she looked like a battered woman and felt humiliated. That message uncovered a hidden pattern of physical abuse that Edwards had managed to keep from the investigators. As pressure from the community grew and more evidence came to light, investigators took a closer look at the history of the relationship. They found Edwards' 2019 arrest for assaulting Amanda and the 2020 restraining order filed by another woman. These facts showed a clear pattern of increasing domestic abuse that eventually led to the murder. 23 days after Amanda's death, the case took a major step forward. The Warrensville Heights police announced that a grand jury had decided to formally charge Tyrell Edwards. The charges were substantial, and they included 1 count of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of domestic violence. The prosecution's argument was straightforward. Edwards' story of self-defense was actually part of a planned effort to kill Amanda. After several failed attempts to find him, Edwards finally turned himself in on November 3, 2023. He was held on a $1 million bond as the legal process began. The trial started on February 27, 2024, with Amanda's family, friends, and community members filling the courtroom. The prosecution carefully laid out their case, with Dr. Mooney's medical testimony dealing a serious blow to Edwards' claim of self-defense. The phone recordings played a key role in the trial, as prosecutors pointed out that Edwards never asked Amanda to put the knife down, never told her he was armed, and never gave her any warning before firing the shots. Strengthening the prosecution's case was proof of past abuse, including troubling text messages from 2020 where Edwards admitted to injuring Amanda's face. These messages showed not only physical harm, but also the emotional control that often goes hand in hand with domestic violence. The verdict in Amanda Williams' case was a mix of relief and sorrow for her family and community. Though Tyrell Edwards was found not guilty of aggravated murder, the jury convicted him on the other charges: 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 1 count of domestic violence. The judge sentenced him to life in prison with a chance of parole after 15 years, plus an extra 9 years for gun-related charges, meaning he must serve 24 years before he can be considered for parole. During the sentencing, the weight of Amanda's loss filled the courtroom. Her brother gave a heartfelt statement that showed how deeply the family was hurting, where he stated that Amanda had lived her life the right way, except for crossing paths with Tyrell. His voice full of sorrow, as he added, "I can't even look at my niece and nephew for too long. I can't imagine what they're going through." The pain was even harder for Amanda's 4-year-old granddaughter, who was in the house that night and now has to live with the trauma of losing her grandmother to such violence. The case deeply affected the Warrensville Heights community. Amanda's salon, Alamode Styles, stood as a symbol of her hard work and determination. Her loss left a gap not only in her family, but also in the lives of many clients who saw her as more than just a stylist, as she was also a trusted friend to many. This tragedy also opened up important talks about domestic violence in the area. Local groups used Amanda's story to stress how crucial it is to recognize the warning signs in relationships. and the serious risks victims face when trying to leave abusive partners. Her case also pushed for better investigations into domestic violence and stronger protections for victims in Warrensville Heights and nearby towns. This case is a powerful reminder that domestic violence can affect anyone, no matter their success or status. Amanda's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how a seemingly perfect life on the outside can be hiding deep pain behind closed doors, and that the most dangerous moment for many victims comes when they finally find the courage to walk away. And although nothing can undo what happened to Amanda, her story helps bring attention to domestic violence and encourages others to stand up against any form of abuse. Those who knew Amanda Williams will remember her not for the way she died, but for the way she lived, as a devoted mother, a successful businesswoman, and a beloved member of her community whose spirit still shines despite the tragedy. What happened to Amanda is deeply saddening, and it's hard to imagine the pain she endured while being in a relationship with such a monster. As we reflect on this tragic story, our thoughts are with the victim, whose life was cut short, and with the loved ones she left behind. If you found this video compelling, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel and check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.